So another cool feature that you can do digitally is to create a time-lapse replay of your art. Now, if you're in Procreate, this is going to be super easy and super simple to do. So after you have your finished drawing, or at least to a point where you want to export the time-lapse video, you can come up here to the little wrench tool under Actions, and then if you go to Video, you'll have to make sure that the time-lapse recording tab was on, because if it wasn't, then it won't be recording, okay? So I made sure mine is on. And then if you click on the time-lapse replay, it'll show you a replay of your entire drawing. So we'll watch it really quick just so you can see. Now in Procreate, it's not exactly a time-lapse replay because it's not recording you actually drawing. It's just recording each individual step and then compiling them together. So if you were to draw this entire picture in one continuous line without ever picking up your brush, it wouldn't actually show you drawing. It would just show that entire one step in one single frame. So it's just recording each step and then compiling it together, not actually recording the action of you drawing it, if that makes sense. So keep that in mind. If you do really long continuous sections, then it's not going to record that. It'll just show up as one instantaneous step. So for the most part, though, it works pretty well as a time-lapse replay, and it turns out pretty nicely. And then if you wanted, if it was still too slow for you, or maybe you wanted to cut out the beginning part where it's like, you know, maybe you're just kind of exploring ideas but you haven't actually gotten into the drawing yet or things like that, then you can very easily either take it right into, say, iMovie on your iPad, for example, once you've exported it, and edit it that way, or you can upload it onto your computer and edit it, or maybe you don't need to edit it at all. It's kind of nice to put music with it sometimes if you're going to be uploading it to either YouTube or Facebook or something, but this gives you a nice starting point. Make sure that when you export it that your screen is facing the right direction, that you're not like tilted, because if you have the user interface upright and you're on an iPad and you export it, the video will be sideways, which I had a problem with and was able to finally figure out. So make sure that your thing is oriented the right way and doesn't accidentally get switched while you're exporting. I think that's mostly it. Do keep in mind, though, that since it records every single brush stroke, that if you finish your drawing and then you come back and start adding on or messing with things or things like that, it will continue to record those unless you turn it off. So it might not be a big deal, but you might not want to record some of the continuing steps. So keep that in mind. But yeah, I think that covers it for doing it in Procreate. Also, when it is going in your iPad, you can see that blue bar at the top. That's kind of like the time bar of how far it has. If you put your finger on the iPad, you can control how far back and forward in the drawing it goes all the way till the end. So there's that. So the way that you export it is if you go to I should also mention this while we're here. In Procreate, you can do a live broadcast. The apps that you can broadcast to aren't super, they just added YouTube, so that's good. So you could live broadcast to YouTube, but there's also Periscope. To export, we're going to go to Share. Whoops, nope, not Share. There we go. Under Start Live Broadcast, we're going to click on Export Time-Lapse Video, and then it will export that video and add it to your photos for you. Okay? So we don't need to wait for it to export because we've already exported it before. Okay? Now, if you are on a computer, let's jump to that really quick and I'll show you guys. Alright, so if you want to record on a computer, I'm doing this on a Mac, but if you have QuickTime on another computer, this should also work for that as well. And it doesn't really matter if you're doing Photoshop or Krita or Corel Painter, that doesn't really matter, because this is just going to record your entire screen, whatever you have on it. So if you have QuickTime open right now, I'm recording using it, so we'll see if this works. But if I go to QuickTime, and you can see here I have these options where it says new movie recording, new audio recording, and new screen recording. Right now I'm doing a new screen recording, so that's what you'll want to click on. You click on new screen recording, and it will pop up with a box here that says you can either select what you want to record or just click and it will record the entire screen. Okay, so you're going to probably want to either select just your canvas area if you're not going to be changing the size of your canvas, or if you want everyone to be able to see what tools and stuff you're using, you can select the whole screen. And then it will just start recording, and it'll record everything you're doing in real time. So if I'm painting on this frog, for example, it's going to record every single step of it in real time, not sped up or anything. So what you'll have to do is once it's finished, you have to take that video and put it into a program like Adobe Premiere or there's plenty of other also cheap or free video editing softwares out there that you can use, whatever your preference is. As long as it has the ability to speed things up. If you go into Premiere, it definitely has that ability. You just right click on the clip and then you click on speed and duration, and you can change it to however fast you want it to be. And then that's how you can make a speed paint that way. Or if you want to do your own little tutorial, you don't have to really speed it up at all. You could just kind of talk over whatever technique it is you're doing. So that's how you go about doing a time-lapse video. And I'll see you guys in the next lecture.